Matt, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on the new album.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it's quite incredible that you released this album in a very difficult time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The coronavirus, and but you've done an amazing job. The whole band has done an amazing job.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's pretty crazy because originally we were supposed to be doing an incredible Asian tour that we're super excited about doing. We'd never been to Singapore. We'd never been to Thailand before. This is our first time returning to Indonesia in ages. So it was really upsetting losing that, but the way we looked at it, we saw a lot of people postponing their records, and we said, why do that? We don't know how long this is going to last, and we felt that everyone deserves something to look forward to, something to help ease their minds, something to help forget them about what's going on, help them forget about what's going on. So we decided to get it out, and our record has been #1 on iTunes overall since it came out. I think it only yesterday went to second place, and in first place has Mariah Carey, oddly, which is fine. I'd rather be beat by Mariah Carey than anyone else. So.
When did the process of writing this album come about?
We typically start writing a new record right when the last one comes out. So we started compiling some riffs here and there. We don't like to write during writing time. We don't like to set up a timer. We say, all right, this is when we're going to make a record, and this is how little or much time we have. We like to just, anytime we feel creative, anytime we feel inspired, we'll allow the music to create itself. But we'll never sit down and say, all right, it's writing time. So it's basically been since The Sin and the Sentence came out up until we finished tracking, or up until we walked into the studio for Dead Men that we've been writing it. So a lot of this stuff we've been rehearsing for. I've been rehearsing some of those vocal parts for about a year or a year plus before ever recording in the studio. So that's why this, people have been talking about how this record only took us 16 days to record. It only took 16 days to record because we rehearsed so much. But we rehearsed so much and never told anybody we were rehearsing. And we like it that way. We like that even though I live stream about 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, still no one knew we were doing a record. And I love that. I love that we're still able to keep it a secret.
Wow, amazing. Who takes the lead in, writing the songs and getting things together with the band?
The formula we've been running with the last 2 records and that we've done for a lot of our records in the past, not all of them, but a lot of them, it's any one of the 3 guitar players, Paulo, Corey, or myself, will start with one riff or the entirety of a song. We'll present that to the whole band as like an MP3 demo at first. Once we walk into the room with the 4 of us, it'll change anywhere from 0 to 99 to 100% as we play it as a band and really flesh it out, making sure we're singing, screaming, playing solos, playing everything as if we're preparing to go live with this material. Once we feel like the song is essentially done, that's when we'll move to the next step of going into the studio, working pre-production with our producer. And we love the way that Josh works, because Josh is he works as a 5th band member for us versus being like a leader, versus being someone that's going to steer the ship.
We're really honored today to have with us Matt Heafy from the band Trivium. Trivium is a Grammy-nominated band from Florida, and you performed with all your metal greats, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, and also graced the amazing metal and rock concerts of this world, Knotfest and Download and many, many more. And we're just actually just waiting for the day to have you here in Singapore. Now, just coming back to this amazing What the Dead Men Say, the track is out of this world. I love the first song, IX, and then it went to What the Dead Man Says, and I was also getting into Defiant. So amazing. In this time of COVID-19, I, as a concert promoter, now have the time to appreciate music.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. You're always having to work and always setting up the next shows and making sure, bringing great music to the audience, and you never really get to just listen to it for yourself.
Yeah. That's why I suggested, to management, I now want to get back to the real thing, why we started the business in the first place, listening to the music, liking the bands, promoting bands that we like. I'm so happy that you've, agreed to do this interview with us today.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Coming to Singapore was the thing that I was looking forward to that so much. I've had Singaporean food around the world, a little bit in Australia, a little bit in Europe, a little bit in the States, and I know it'll be better in the home country. So I was really upset about missing the show, but I was really upset about missing the food. I wanted to eat at Singapore so bad. I've heard about all the hawker halls and stuff, so I was ready. I had the list of everything I was going to eat. I compiled Anthony Bourdain's favorite list of everything he'd ever eaten in Singapore, so we were ready.
Okay.
I do believe that Knotfest Japan is rebooked, which means we're over in Asia. So hopefully we can figure something out where Trivium can fly over there, because that would be so amazing. But I want to get there a couple days early, and you take us out. Let's go eat and let's hang out and let's listen to good music.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that. What are you looking forward to eat?
I'd have to pull that out. It was like specific things from different halls, but the things I have tried, I've had curry laska, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. Obviously chicken rice, but the chicken rice I had, it could have been Malaysian, it could have been Singaporean. I want to have the Singaporean version. I believe soft shell crab curry, that's the Singaporean dish as well?
Yeah.
Or is it fish head curry?
Fish head curry, okay.
That's the one. That's the one.
Okay. And you can eat spicy food?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, if I have to sing the next day, I shouldn't have too spicy, but if I have a day off or we just played the show, then bring it on. Okay. I love super spicy food.
Wow. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, last night, my son, he made me watch a really good conversation you did, like a Q&A a few years ago. It's about failure.
Thank you so much.
I just learned so much, just about you and your early days and how driven, at such a young age. Let the younger fans, learn, what a great inspiration you are to the young kids.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, that's why we've always only ever had our fans and our supporters, and that's why we're so connected with them. That's why 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, I live stream, and it's free, and it's just there for people to come and enjoy our music and hang out and have a place to be. And it's not something that I just started now. It's something that I've been doing that for 3 years. I've been doing Trivium for 21 years. I joined this band when I was 13. It was my first band, first job. So it's just something I love. It's all I've ever known. And as the people that support us allow us to be here, I try to always give them something that they can have. And that's why we looked at it as a responsibility to get our music out for everybody. We looked at it as a way that I look at the streams as a responsibility, because I know that there are people out there who've been laid off from their jobs. There are people that are furloughed. There are people that are unemployed right now, people who are stuck in not their home city or their home country or their home state. And I just want to give them something that they can enjoy and something they can look forward to every day.
You mentioned 21 years. 21 years, 9 albums. Did you expect the time to go by so quickly?
I didn't. I mean, sometimes it feels like it went quick, and sometimes it felt like it's been a lifetime. I'm glad that I stuck to something, because when I was 12, I said I want to be in the kind of band that plays around the world, and stuck to that and essentially made it happen. So it's
amazing. Excellent.
It's all there is.
Yeah. Before COVID-19, how was the touring schedule looking like in 2020?
I mean, the Asian tour was the one I was really looking forward to. We had a press tour before that was supposed to be like a 3-week press tour to build up the record into Asia for 4 shows. And then luckily we didn't have anything up until this June thing that's set up in the States, but I don't know what's going to happen to that right now. Thankfully, with a tour that big, with Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium, and Flames, that's not the kind of tour that gets canceled. That's the kind of tour that gets rescheduled. So at worst, that'll get rescheduled, and then we had stuff set up for the end of the year. So yeah, it's looking like all of our plans, at worst, will have to get lifted and shifted over. I know that Japan is, like I said, Japan is rebooked. I believe Indonesia is close to being rebooked. So I'm just hoping we can get the Singaporean show back, we can get the Thai show back, and that'll make me very happy.
Okay. Yeah, we're working on it.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we're working on it.
That is awesome. But we have to build in a day for food.
Okay.
We have to.
Okay.
Okay, we get in and we go eat, and we eat everything. And that's what we have to do. We can stream the whole thing. We can film the whole thing, whatever it is. Great. But that's what I want to do.
Let's do a show with you.
Let's
eating.
Do it.
Going around
We're
Singapore. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Our whole band is obsessed with food. Our crew loves food. Like, we're all like super foodies, so we're very excited about that.
Okay. How are you adapting to this new norm and coping with the virus?
I'm just making sure I'm being a good example to our fans. For those who want to hear my opinion, like, I know that there's always going to be a portion that maybe just want to listen to a band for face value. They don't want to know what the band thinks, but a lot of our fans do listen to what we have to say, and I love the fact that the 4 of us are good people. And we're not perfect people, but we're good people. We have good advice to give. So the same thing that I've been saying to them, that I've been saying to all the press, that I'm going to say here, I don't believe this is the end of the world. However, it is also not something that should be brushed off as something light. It's obviously something serious. So I've been encouraging everyone to take precautions. Even before this started really shutting the world down, I was like, be precautious. Anticipate that this is something that's a little bit more than you should be. And I prefer the term physical distancing to social distancing, because I feel that social distancing has been making people feel like they should go inward and cut themselves off entirely. I mean, I remember when this first went down, we'd be walking with our kids in the neighborhood and be like 15 feet from other neighbors and try to wave at them, and they'd look away. And it's like, you're not going to get sick by looking and waving at someone and smiling at someone. So I've been encouraging people physically distant. You know, if you have to work, a lot of people out there unfortunately have to work. They have to work to put food on the table. I tell them, be clean as possible, wear a mask if you can, wear gloves if you can, think about cross-contamination, and stay socially connected. And that's why, again, I said, like, I feel like our record is a responsibility. I feel like our streams are a responsibility. And I just want to be there to give people what they need. Like, there are people that are unemployed right now that are just stuck in their houses, and they might not be able to eat as well. They don't know where the next meal is coming from. And at least I can give them the entertainment and somewhere they can be with other good people and have a disconnection. They can disconnect from maybe the stresses for a couple of hours. The channel has just gotten a lot bigger because after all these years of me telling people, hey, check out my Twitch, check out my Twitch, check out my Twitch, people are home and they can. We're going to stream all the Asian shows from the streaming backpack. We run an awesome audio line in. So it's like DVD quality audio. The visual's okay, but I try to give everything that I am at all times for everyone.
Did you ever imagine that, you know, your fans will be watching, you know, your show online this year in this format?
With us in the chat room too, yeah, it's weird times. It's weird times, but it's all about adapting. I never really thought that our record would come out and I couldn't go to the record store to buy it, but instead I'd be playing it on stream and having people from every country watching and hanging out during it. It's unfortunate to miss to not be able to play a show doing it and buy the CD, but it's all about adapting and evolving. And I guess this isn't necessarily a matter of evolution. This is more of a matter of adaptation, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. You have to evolve. You have to adapt yourselves and overcome to what's going on. And that's the way we've just had to do it.
When did Trivium realize that this COVID-19 was such a serious problem?
When we started seeing that China itself was starting to shut down, I started going, all right, this looks like it's kind of severe. And I started questioning. I was like, well, if there's an Asian tour coming up and a lot of the other countries around are getting shut down, or that's when the Diamond Princess incident just happened that was handled pretty poorly, I started just knowing, because we tour. We tour all around the world. I mean, I know people in the States. I think Asia is the best with sickness. I love the fact that when something is going on, when someone's sick, they put a sick mask on to prevent other people from getting sick. America, people have to work, and a lot of our sick days are really bad. Our health insurance is really bad. So people on sick days, they'll go to work sick, and they'll just say, oh, it's allergies, I'm fine, it's not contagious. And it blossoms like that. So I just knowing those things, I'm like, man, this is gonna be bad. And if we have to go to airports, I wasn't worried about getting sick. I was worried about getting locked out of getting back home to my kids and my wife, which is something that happened. They did start blocking off countries that were hotspots. So that was correct. And I didn't want, when you started seeing about more like silent carriers, that's something I look at. Like, yes, I'm healthy. Yes, healthy people are being severely affected as well, but I was worried about being like a transmitter. So as soon as I knew that I'd be physically distant from people, be responsible, stay inside. I'm fortunate that I can work my second job from here, from home, but a lot of people can't. So it's weird times. And I knew when I started seeing countries shut down, I had a feeling it was going to start spreading a little bit more. And I feel like America should have closed down much quicker, much earlier, and would have had way less of an issue. I mean, we have like double to triple the amount of every other country right now, and we're about to open up a bunch of states. It's just a lot of, yeah.
It's very sad because, like, we always say, oh, America's, number one, in entertainment and technology. Some people say, oh, now they're number one in this coronavirus.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
I don't know about all that.
It's not something that, I like to hear.
Oh, about, that, in the bad way. Yeah, it could have been handled much better because, I mean, there's still, it's not a majority, but there's definitely a percentage of our population that thinks it's nothing. For me, it's like we should be worried about all civilization. It's not just about the self. It's not just about the people directly around you. It's about the whole country doing well, the whole planet doing well. If everyone can do well together, then we can all do well together. Same thing, like I feel like the best representation of it is when you see grocery stores get cleaned out. I think that if everyone just took what just they needed for their family versus hoarding everything and hurting other people, then we'd all be better off versus one person being way better off and everyone else being not as good. So I guess that's more of an ethics thing. That's more of a morality thing at that point. And thankfully, we can always at least display that point of view to our fans. And I do believe that our fans are empathetic people and that they do believe that concept as well as helping everyone can do well versus just the self.
Mm-hmm. You're doing some kind of auction, right? You're going to raise some funds for this hospital.
Oh yeah, that's a foundation that my wife and I have that we've had for a couple of years now. It's called the Metal and Honey Foundation. Mm-hmm. With game streaming, a big portion of it is charitable donations, and there's a company called Extra Life that gamers raise money playing games for like 24-hour streams, and they put that all into a children's hospital of their choice. So my wife and I, we've been raising money for the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital, which is where my kids were born, and that's the hospital that we fundraise for. But that's the thing; it's open year-round. 100% of the proceeds always go to charity. No one takes a cut of anything; it just goes directly to that hospital. It's an amazing hospital. We had to take my son there when he was 1 year old, and he split his head open, split right here. As soon as he was like 1 year and 3 days, he fell into this wooden toy and split it. So it's a good hospital, and I'm lucky that I'm able to fundraise for something that close to me.
Oh, and how old are your kids now, Matt?
They're about 18 months.
Oh, nice.
So it's our first kid was 2. It's been pretty crazy.
Wow, nice. It's enjoy the moment.
How old is your kid now?
My son is 19.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
I can't imagine our kids being like talking. Ours are, like they say a couple words, they don't talk yet.
Let's take some questions. We've had some fans writing in. Okay, we're going to go someone by the name of Putara, and he wants to know, who are your favorite artists and bands outside of metal?
Outside, now that's a good question. Let's go really outside. Jean-Philippe Rameau is a classical composer that's one of my favorites. He made this record that's all harpsichord that I'm pretty obsessed with. Le Pieces de Clavecin. I'm not sure if I'm probably not pronouncing that terribly, but that's one of my favorite records. Rameau is one of my favorite composers. Rameau, Queen. Queen is definitely one of my favorite bands of all time. But my favorite songs have always been the Freddie Mercury ballads, the Freddie Mercury big, grandiose kind of Broadway-esque theater sort of songs. Depeche Mode is one of my favorite bands of all time. Violator is one of my biggest influences for songwriting. So there's a couple.
Okay, got a fan from Malaysia. His name is Arvind, and he says he had the pleasure of seeing you 3 times now, and he just wants to ask, once it's all said and done, and you and Trivium call it a day, which he prays will never happen, what do you want Trivium's legacy to be remembered as?
I mean, I'm going to be doing this till I can't physically do this anymore. So he doesn't have to worry about that part. I'll be doing this till I can't play or sing. Initially, when I first joined, before I joined Trivium, and when I joined Trivium, my goal was to be like the biggest. And that has since completely shifted. My priorities and my idea of success and what's good and has been to just, our band is not a massive band. I don't live in a mansion. I don't have fancy cars. But I don't have to worry about things. I don't have to worry about that next meal or that mortgage check or can I get my kid diapers. Like, once you've been able to do something you love for a living and you're able to sustain with just what you need. I mean, we don't have excess. We don't live with excess. I think that that's success. And I hope that it can maybe show people that you should love what you do and you should enjoy what you do. And it's not about chasing that idea of excess. And it should just be, do you love what you do? And are you able to do what you love and not worry about anything else? And I hope that maybe that can shift people's perceptions.
Okay, What the Dead Men Say. What is that song about?
We don't want to give the answers away yet. But with that being said, we want everyone to come up with their interpretation of what they feel everything means on the record, the visuals, everything. So sometimes we'll take ideas that are loose translations or loose inspirations.
Okay, good. So would you have some kind of fan feedback asking them to come up with their own ideas what the song means?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah,
no right or wrong.
I'm just intrigued myself. Is it What the Dead Man Said? Like, okay, I'm thinking about it. I'm naturally thinking about it.
That's good. That's good. That's what we want. That's what we want to inspire. And we feel like if we give people the answers, then they won't keep searching. I'd rather them keep thinking about it.
Okay, one of the things when I was watching your interview, you gave about 4 or 5 years ago, you mentioned about the process of art. You're very interested in art and visual art. Now I understand why all the artwork on your albums are so beautiful. I mean, it's just so artsy. I don't know, it's not the word to use, but what was the inspiration behind this, the artwork of this, What the Dead Men Say?
I've always been very inspired by visual art. We've always felt that everything needs to be just as important as the music. The lyrics need to be as important as the music, as important as the videos, as the photos, as everything all in one. My wife has been our art director for the last several records, and she's a graphic designer, a visual artist. But what she did this time around, last record she did the cover, and it wasn't planned to have her do the cover. She was doing the artwork for the booklet. We saw it, like, that's the cover now. And originally the record was called Revanchist, but we loved her artwork for Sin in the Sentence so much we changed the title to Sin in the Sentence. We changed the artwork entirely. This time we're going to call the record Catastrophist. The record was going to be illustrated, but she found this amazing photographer named Mike Dunn. Like, she's great at finding other great artists. So she found this photographer named Mike Dunn who did photos of us. She saw that there was this decaying flower in one of my photos, and she hit up the photographer. She said, hey, can you take some test photos of flowers? And he did a bunch of them, and he did thousands of them, and we picked the one that you see as the cover. So sometimes these things can be happy accidents. She's also the one that recommended. She's like, I think that you should call the record What the Dead Men Say. She's like, I feel like it's a deeper sentiment. It's a deeper statement. It's a title that is going to make people think a lot. So we're just really lucky that we've had all these great people. I feel like a lot of times bands would benefit from having an art director. I feel like people need to, at times, like, even if you have good taste in something, like, I like visual art, I can't make it. So I get people that can make it for the band, or like we get people that can make it. So if someone recognized they're not amazing at something, grab someone that is amazing at something that help execute your vision even better. So that's the way we like to do it. We like to support as many artists as we can, and we're lucky that we've got my wife as the director of all of them.
Amazing. It was always good, when someone in the family is just giving that constructive feedback. You can rely on this person for, anything and everything, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree.
This is...
Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Going,
good to see you. Very good. Thanks so much for having us on the show.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Look forward to seeing you over here.
Heck yes, I can't wait to get over there. I'm so excited. I was so bummed that it got postponed, but we'll figure something out.
Hopefully we can put it all back together.
Let's get the two of us.
Exactly.
We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready for you. Okay.
Hell yes.
Hey, thanks
awesome.
for doing
Thank you so much. Dave, definitely. Thanks for having me. Great to meet you.
All right. Great meeting you. All right.
Take care.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you so much, and all the best with the album.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.